All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for a bonus edition of what I drank yesterday. Yes, that's right. 2 tastings in one night. Hey, I may have to change the name of my book to the 3-bottle per day wine diet. And, I'm going to say eating 2 meals in one night. Is that possible? No, I split my time between the 2 rooms. I wanted to make sure the 2015 Cabernet people got as much attention as our friends from Castello Del Terriccio, which, hey, I had John Paul here from the distributor, and, he knew the wines intimately, so I don't want to say I didn't have to be here, but, I don't want to say I'm the star here at the Wine Watch, but I'm not missing a tasting because the only reason I do these events is scientific research. That's right, people, because at the end of the day, I wanted to know how all of these Lupicaia wines were going to show. These guys sent us a vertical. We had 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 10, and 15. And I just said at the Cabernet tasting, 10 years is what it takes for me, I think, for Cabernet Sauvignon-based wines to start getting interesting. And hey, when you're on the Maremma coast, that is the Napa Valley of Tuscany. You don't see Sangiovese out there. It's Cabernet, it's Merlot, it's Petit Verdot. There's some Syrah out there. Bordeaux varietals, and they've been there's viticulture out there since 800 BC. I mean, a long time ago. The Italians, I want to say, brought the grapevines everywhere in Europe. The French people forget. If it wasn't for the Romans, there would be no grapevines in France. Oh, there wouldn't have been there, at as early of a time as there was. Yes, so who makes the greatest wines in the world? The Italians, yes, bella, felicissimo, mangiare, at least some of the greatest values in the world, because when you look at some of these wines coming direct from the property, we had these old Lupicaias on sale for $150 last night. Hey, there still may be a few bottles left at the end of the day. These wines are drinking at or near their peak right now, and it's always fun to see the new release, because at the end of the day, you get to see the progression of how the wine ages, and every wine is different because of the vintage. Hey, very similar varietal makeup in each of these wines, but the vintages tell the story of that year. And that is what makes wine so unique. It's about a place and a time. So we started out with this Vento, which there's not a lot of white wine in Tuscany. There's only one DOCG in Tuscany, and that is Vernaccia di San Gimignano. I just love to say that. And white wines may be the best values of all the fine wine in Italy, because these wines, $21.75. Chardonnay Ray was here, and he said, man, this white wine is so good, it must be Chardonnay. I said, no, Ray, it's Sauvignon Blanc and Viognier, a very unique blend, because when you're growing Bordeaux varietals, Chardonnay is a Burgundian varietal. It likes a little cooler temperature. Sauvignon Blanc, you see that in Bordeaux. It's a white Bordeaux varietal. But Viognier, very unique. And it gave the wine a little bit of an extra kind of lifted aromatic component, floral. And, Sauvignon Blanc has this musky note. And this one is like a Bordeaux. It's got that melon fruit character, figs. And, yeah, very aromatic. On the second day, and I always say white wines benefit more from decanting than red wines. The nose on this wine, and hey, when you serve it ice cold, also you don't get very much of the bouquet. It's 64 degrees. The white wine may be the best wine on the table here again. Could it happen? No, of course not. And we did get 1 vote for the white wine. I want to say that was Chardonnay Ray. And we started out with the entry-level IGT. All of these wines are IGTs, and that just means they're not. You don't have to pay off the Italian wine mafia, the DOCG and the DOC people, because these are made with, I want to say, foreign grape varietals, because as I mentioned to start, all of the grapevines came through Italy. Cabernet Sauvignon is a recent invention. It actually is a cross between Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc, the first mixed marriage of grape varietals. Probably not. But at the end of the day, that is how Cabernet Sauvignon was created in some, mad scientist in Montpellier University in the southwest of France in the late 1700s. So it's a relatively recent invention. And I'll tell you what, the nose on this 2020 still very primary, a lot of plum and a lot of cherry fruit and some floral notes. And yeah, and I don't want to say not like Bordeaux at all, because, Italian wines smell like Italy. At the end of the day, the earth, it tells a different story than the wines of Napa Valley or Bordeaux, where you also have Cabernet that grows and you can turn into great wine. And the second wine, the Terriccio, this wine smells completely different than all the other wines because it's Syrah and Petit Verdot. Yeah, you get a little extra kind of a floral lift to this wine, the Petit Verdot. And yeah, very different. But the first 2 wines kind of like, I want to say, more entry level, so I wasn't expecting them to get a lot of votes. People came to see the Lupicaia. This is like Sassicaia. I say one of the Ayas, Ornellaia, Sassicaia, Lupicaia. All the top wines in Bulgari, or a lot of them, are Ayas for some reason. And the 15, I don't think this is the current release, but 15, a great vintage. And amazing that we can still offer 15 from Tuscany from some people because it's just 10 years old now. I think this needs another 10 years. You know, it still has some tannins. You get a little like porcini, mushroomy character in this wine. Also, the earth from Tuscany, like I said, different from the other places where they grow Cabernet. And yeah, a little licorice and a little spice in there. 2010, a great vintage, but still very young, still very primary, still has a lot of tannins here. Yeah, this wine's definitely need a little time. 15 and 10 did not get much attention at all because once we get to 8, now you're starting to see a wine that is fully mature and a wine that's developed this extra level of aromatics in the bouquet. Yeah, so that lovely fruit still left in there, that plum, that cherry, and currants. But now it's starting to take on that earthy, herbal characters, the leathery components, the fresh earth is starting to stand out. And wow, the 8, a cooler vintage, and I want to say still a little bit tannic, a little bit young. The 2007, drinking beautifully. This is how I like my Tuscan wines right here. Still has some lovely fruit. You get a little graphite in the nose too, some rocky characters, earthy notes here. And wow, tannins fully resolved, absolutely beautiful on the second day. Hey, 06 and 04, 2 higher rated vintages, more classic. And the 06 may still need a little bit more time, but wow, fantastic development there. And 05, the lowest rated of all these old vintages, I think one of my favorite wines on the table today. It didn't get any votes for first, a vote for second. But if you got 05 Tuscan wines in your cellar, now is the time to drink them. I don't think this wine is getting any better. But between 4 and 6, 2 superior vintages, yeah, the 4 is still fantastic. Some licorice notes coming out in this as well. Porcini, earthy characters. Wow, 4 and 6 had the most potential of all the wines on the table. But 7 and 5, the best to drink today. And 7 turned out to be the wine of the night, with the 2006 coming in second, but all the Lupicaias from this decade drinking beautifully. And that's what I had to drink last night at our Castello Del Terriccio event. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.